bring you a rundown of what is in our local press today.
And my name is Stuart Namburu. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch us live on our social media platforms, that is TechMake TV on YouTube and TechMake TV on Facebook. And please do remember to like our YouTube channel, so that whenever we are live, you get a notification. You simply do that by subscribing to our channel.
So without further ado, we're just going to get into it, because today we have a mouthful of what is in the local papers. So I'm going to start with the daily news. It says Chamisa raises security alarm as political tension escalates, economy dies. Opposition leader Nelson Chamisa and his MDC lieutenants say they fear for their lives amid allegations that the government has placed them under 24-hour surveillance over suspicions that they are planning mass demonstrations against President Emmerson Mnangagwa, the Newsday can report. So scared have Chamisa and other MDC bigwigs become that the opposition leader confirmed to mourners this week who had gathered at a funeral of one of the MDC party officials who died in a car accident on Monday. It goes on to say that it continues on page 4. My apologies. MDC Vice President Morgan Komichi told the Daily News yesterday that there was little doubt in their minds that the worsening economic situation in the country, coupled with the fear of Chamisa and the MDC, was one of the major reasons why Mnangagwa's government has put them under surveillance. And I quote, President Nelson Chamisa is very unsafe because he is viewed by Mnangagwa's government as his biggest enemy, together with several other senior party officials who have been under surveillance because they realize that with the economic situation becoming worse in the country, the chances are that people will go in the street anytime and more than 70%. That is according to the Vice President Morgan Komichi of the MDC. Moving on, it says civil groups slam Ndiweni hounding. Civil society organizations and opposition parties said yesterday they were appalled by Wednesday's shameful scenes in the City of Kings, in which outspoken Dabazinduna traditional leader Chief Nhlanhla Ndiweni was nearly assaulted by suspected ZANU-PF thugs. This comes as Ndiweni, who has attracted a vote of ruling party apparatchiks after he recently called for more sanctions against President Mnangagwa and his close allies. This is according to the Newsday. That is basically the front page of the Newsday.
Okay, that's a very worrisome thing that the opposition leader is raising a security alarm. He's claiming that he's being followed. It's a very serious allegation, and we hope that there will be finality to that issue. Moving to the Newsday, it is a story that says prosecutors down tools, alleged security capture. Prosecutors in the High Court downed tools yesterday over fears that the office of the Prosecutor General Kumbaya Wozi had been captured by the state security services and political functionaries, putting their lives at risk. In a petition addressed to Wozi, the Prosecutors Association of Zimbabwe accused the Special Anti-Corruption Unit SACU of abuse of office, saying they were being given instructions by that unit. I quote, SACU has proven to have more powers as they give prosecutors instructions on how to proceed in matters. This is viewed as an abuse of their office, the petition said. Highly placed sources said, following the arrest of prosecutor Tapua Kasema soon after he exercised his judicial duties by consenting to granting former Finance Minister Ignatius Chombo's passport, prosecutors now feared for their safety amid indications that some powerful hands were behind his arrest. So prosecutors downing tools in protest over criminal abuse of office by some members within that ruling elite in the political front. It's a very worrisome state, as well as the government is trying so much to fight corruption, but their efforts are being tainted by such acts, and that is also one of the reasons why most of these corruption cases that have been brought before the courts have not been prosecuted to the satisfaction of the general public, because it is being alleged that there's a capture of the state apparatus by the security sector. So it's very worrisome, and the government must do something. That's what I have for now. What else do you have from the Daily News?
Coming back to the Daily News, it says Chibuli opts for out-of-court settlement. So exiled former Police Commissioner General Augustine Chibuli is now settling a claim in which he was dragged to the High Court for allegedly impounding 5 cars and a house from Harare businessman Big Boy Pachira. So Pachira's lawyer, Rungano Mahuni, confirmed the development to the Daily News and said some of the payments were already being processed. The reason why the matter has not been heard in court is because parties reached a consensus to settle out of court. The defendant, Chibuli, who already started making some of the payments, Mahuni said, but was not willing to divulge the terms of the settlement. Pachira gave harrowing experiences of how he and his family were subjected to endless torture by members of the police homicide department after Chibuli targeted him in 2013. And I quote, "At first I was accused of theft and put into police custody where I was held for 7 days before being brought to a court. Before being brought, yeah. Yeah, it was a repetition there. Yeah. They would come, but it's the police, holding guns at me and forcing me to sign affidavits, one of which gave Chibuli powers to take my Highfield house valued at 50,000, Pachira said. That is a very horrible thing, and those are very strong allegations.
Very strong. Remember, during the time of the former President Mugabe, a lot of bad things happened with regards to how these security forces operated, and I think this is one of the cases that is a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot that happened, and people are not willing to come out because of fear of being victimized. Moving to the Newsday, there's a story that says ED dialogue a waste of time. That is what the MDC is saying. The Nelson Chamisa-led MDC yesterday poured cold water on the political dialogue to be officially launched today by President Emerson Mnangagwa, describing the process as a waste of state resources. Mnangagwa is in dialogue with small parties that contested last year's harmonized elections and failed to make any impact. The main opposition MDC has boycotted the dialogue. I quote, "We cannot have a situation where he talks to himself among his own cheerleaders and then says he is having a dialogue. He has no conflict with those small parties or motley crew of individuals that he is with him. Why is he allowing himself to pretend to have a national dialogue when clearly the person who represents over 50% of the nation is not there at the dialogue?" MDC spokesperson Jacob Mafume said. I quote again, "How does he think it will solve the nation? A person who has almost all the urban councils and that number of MPs and rural councillors too is not there at that dialogue. This is a pure waste of time, resources, and lying to himself, and why he continues lying to himself and pretends to think the nation believes his lies is a mystery to us," unquote. MDC is stating their position with regards to the political dialogue that is being launched today by His Excellency the President Emerson Mnangagwa, and they are saying it's a waste of state resources, and their absence at this political dialogue reduces weight or takes much needed credibility of this political dialogue, because the MDC represents or is the biggest political party in Zimbabwe, and their absence further discredits whatever that Pollard is going to deliberate on.
Coming back to the Daily News, it says economy is stabilizing. Of course, this is according to the RBZ governor, John Mambuja. So the Daily News says Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, RBZ Governor John Mamija, says the economy is expected to improve in the short term as the country is currently on a transitional path supported by policies improved by the government. We, in a quote, we are in a transition to a stable economy, and a stable economy is required for purposes of increasing growth, he said last week. At a State of the Economy report presentation in Harare, the economy is expected to adjust soon from the recent fiscal and monetary measures. We have done very well under the circumstances which have been difficult. As a nation, we have been shaken by policy measures we have adopted, but they are for a good cause, to a permanent, stable solution. A superstructure which is strong to expand the economy, he said. Wow.
I don't know what this guy smokes or something. What he's saying is not what is on the ground.
I really want to sip some of the Kool-Aid.
I don't know which stability he's talking of. I don't know which improvement he's talking of. There's nothing that has been done in terms of improving the economy. I think events of the past 2 days will show you that things are not stable. The black market or the parallel exchange rate shot to about 620 or 630 in the past 2 days, from 420 to 430, and he's talking of stability. I don't know where he's getting that. He should get his facts right. He should stop lying to the people. He needs to give the people the correct information.
Indeed, absolutely, I agree.
I also have another story in the Newsday that says Health Minister quizzed over First Lady's government interference. Health and Child Care Minister Obadiah Moyo was on Wednesday quizzed in Parliament by opposition legislators over First Lady Auxilia Mnangagwa's alleged interference at government enterprises such as NatFarm. The First Lady went on to direct NatFarm to the extent that she called the Health Minister on a Sunday together with his board to explain to her why there were shortages of drugs. Do private individuals have the capacity to simply go into NatFarm and direct how things should be done? Bizo MP Settlement Chikwenya MD's Alliance asked yesterday. I think we talked about this issue yesterday where the First Lady was interfering too much, and it is good that her involvement was questioned by MPs in the August House, and I'm not really happy with the response that was given by Obadiah Moyo, the Health Minister. But I think it's a cause for concern. We've been down this road. Remember former First Lady Grace Mugabe, how she terrorized, and we wouldn't want a situation like that. So, in all due respect, the First Lady must do something with regards to that.
Maybe quickly just to comment also on that story. Here the Herald says Minister defends the First Lady, and when he was asked the question, apparently this is what he said, and I quote: "The First Lady's work is philanthropic. She's an ambassador of health and childcare. She was always the ambassador of maternal and childcare. She has done a tremendous amount of work for the country. Without a doubt, the First Lady has managed to acquire equipment on behalf of the ministry and on behalf of all of us, which we would never have been able to acquire. She has worked right through." That's what he said.
Yeah, she has done a lot philanthropic work. Yeah, we commend her for that. But does that give her the right to call the board on a Sunday, or to call the minister on a Sunday, to demand to meet the minister on a Sunday? I think it's out of order. Moving to the Newsday, there's a story that says Harare Mayor bemoans revenue leakages. Harare Mayor Herbert Gomba says the city has to investigate cause of dwindling revenue from the informal sector amid indications that space barons were fleecing vendors and collecting revenue meant for the local authority. Gomba said from statistics available to his office, revenue collection had gone down, although the number of vendors has increased drastically. In 2017, we collected 3 million and the figure went down to 2.5 million in 2018, and now we are projecting to collecting around 1.3 million at a time when the number of vendors is increasing. Something is wrong with our revenue collection system, Gomba said. For sure, the city council must do something to plug in every hole that is leaking their revenue, which is needed to improve the city as it has a vision of a world-class city by the year 2025.
Coming back to the Herald, it says 5,000 expected at the Poland launch today. I think Stuart Edgar only mentioned about Poland.
Yeah.
And however, what's interesting with the end of the Herald too, the interesting thing is they quoted the MDCT Vice President Obed Kutu.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he stays in limbo. It's like he quits and then comes back. He quits, comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, according to the Herald, Mr. Obed Kutu said, and I quote, "The MDCT is determined to contribute to the betterment of the lives of the majority of the people in Zimbabwe. We want to see a national economy rebooting with the jobs and employment opportunities being created by our people. Our main reason and purpose for participating in the ongoing political actors dialogue is to make a positive and patriotic contribution towards the government of our country. Although we are not in government, we believe that as a patriotic, progressive, Pan-Africanist and people-centered political party, we should be afforded the opportunity and forum to put across our views and suggestions on how the country should be governed."
Yeah, that's a good one. I will not comment though, because of our time. We're running out of time. Yeah.
So you're trying to give you everything that is in.
And today we have a lot to cover, and it's a lot.
So maybe I should just do what I think is the biggest story.
Yeah, I think you should just move to the biggest story, then we'll move to the sport and then wrap it up.
So it says, plot to unleash violent protests unearthed. A group of shady organizations from Zimbabwe with links to the opposition MDC alliance has in recent months been hard at work laying the groundwork for civil unrest set to be unleashed next month, the Herald reveals today. Foreign organizations are coordinating workshops and training in Zimbabwe, the region, and overseas to effect illegal regime change. Also in the mix are individuals that security services in Zimbabwe have been watching. So I think, like I was telling you earlier, so I think this goes so well with the story in the news.
There's a connection there.
Because they are saying that they're being followed, they're being watched, they're under 24-hour surveillance. So this also confirms that.
Yeah.
You know. So according to the information at hand, the organizations are seeking to unleash a wave of violent demonstrations beginning next month, with a ring of leaders of civil unrest receiving training in the Czech Republic and the Maldives. Further, the Herald has been told that after the training, the groups briefed MDC Alliance President Nelson Chamisa. So currently there's a group training in the Maldives, which began on Tuesday and ends on Sunday, and is being conducted by the Center for Allied Non-Violent Action and Strategies, a Serbian organization which trained MDC activists who were involved in the coordination of the January 14 to 16 violent protests. 8 local activists, including a multimedia journalist from Newsday, are attending the program and will be instrumental in training and instigating mayhem to be rolled out in June. So some of the details, however, that emerge. So the source, however, of this whole story is being said it's a close source to MDC in the MDC. I don't yeah, but. Well.
So apparently there's more within the MDC that is leaking sources, and these are very serious allegations, and I think the security sector should be on high alert with regards to this security threat, because we wouldn't want a repeat of what happened in January. We all know what happened. Some people lost their lives, some people were beaten for nothing, for just doing their normal daily activities. They were beaten for that. Quickly we move to the sport, where the biggest sporting headline has to be the Zephyr Umbro launch new Warriors kit. I think the new Warriors kit was launched yesterday. English sportswear and football equipment supplier Umbro and Zephyr finally put an end to the speculation surrounding the Warriors kit after unveiling the new national team's home and away trips ahead of the African Cup of Nations finals to be held in Egypt. Yesterday's unveiling came after local football fans had expressed their disappointment with the yellow and red Warriors shirt after images of the home strip leaked last month. So finally, the Warriors kit is here, and social media is abuzz with how people are thinking of this kit. Some people are saying the kit does not fit the Warriors portfolio. It doesn't represent the Warriors. They are saying it's low quality. They are saying a lot of stuff. This is obviously after a local kit sponsor, Raw, yet designed a kit meant for the Warriors, and Zifa did not want to take that route, or did not want to use that kit as well. So the Warriors kit is here, and they are ready to roll at AFCON. Another sporting news is Cape Zimbabwe finally best. It reads, exciting winger Ian Nyono was the toss of the day as Chapungu came from a goal down to end log leaders Cape United their first defeat of the season in a scintillating PSL encounter at the National Sports Stadium yesterday. So this was also another proud moment for Net1, as both their teams that they sponsor, Chapungu and Cape United, did a battle in a mouth-watering match which ended in favor of Chapungu, with another Nyono from Chapungu being the hero of the day. And also on that note, would like to wish Chapungu coach Rodwan Zakama a speedy recovery. Apparently he was absent from the match yesterday. He is not feeling well, and we wish him a speedy recovery. He has done a sterling job for Zimbabwean football. Remember his days at Monomotapa and how he has done with junior teams. He has won gold medals. He's one of the coaches who has won gold medals with the Zimbabwean national team at junior level. So we wish him a speedy recovery. I think from the sports side, I think I'm done.
Okay, so we'll call it a wrap. Shout out to Consilia who has been watching. Thank you so much for your comments. From me, Nicole Manziwa, and the crew behind the scenes.
My name is Shot Namburo. Thank you for watching. You have a pleasant day.